It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, and good morning. Welcome back to another Wake Up and Adam, because you guys know we do this every morning at 9:30, Monday through Friday. Guys, this morning I woke up and I'm not going to lie. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. So yesterday, Jason and I went out to get out of the house for a second, and we're like, let's go grab some lunch. All I grabbed was a chicken Caesar salad. Now, when I got the chicken Caesar salad, I was like, okay, this is great. Then I got home and I was, well, I don't need to tell you guys, but I was just puking my guts out. So I guess now I mentioned it. Now I said it. And I was just laying there and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And then this morning, same thing. I think I got food poisoning. So I said to Jason, maybe I'll sit down and do this morning. And he said, no, you bring the energy. And I was like, okay, let me eat something. Let me have some espresso. And I did. And that's exactly why we're back now. Now, of course, this is a subscribers only live chat. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, it's free. So I don't know what's holding you back. Go ahead, smash that like button. And I say, with that, let's dive right in. Guys, less than 2 minutes and 104 in the room already. Hey, let's see who's in the room. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Tosh. Tweety tweet. Good morning, everyone. Krista said, haha, sounds like me. Oh, sorry for that. No, it's okay. LaShawn said, oh no, I hope you feel better, Adam. Oh no, Adam, hope you're over that now. Yes, I am. Thank you, guys. And Rob J in the city said, happy Tuesday, Adam, Jason, all the mods. It's Wednesday. Rob J, it's Wednesday. I get like that too. Alabama camper, hi. Sending healing energy. Guys, you're the best. Okay, so we do have a couple things to talk about, from Bravo to some other celebrity drama. It's happening all over the place, and I don't know what's going on in the world. I also have a few surprises coming for you guys this week. I can't share them until obviously they're over, but what I can say is you guys can get really, really excited. Hit that like button. Yes, I agree. All right. Don't worry, Jason's in the room, and I'm not going to tell exactly what I have going on, but you guys are going to be shocked. Now, getting back into it, because I don't want to just tease you guys. I want to talk about some real drama. It looks like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, well, Lisa Rinna has a new storyline. Ha! Who would have ever thought? Now, don't get too excited, guys. If you think that Lisa Rinna is coming on season 12 to talk about the husbands, well, you're absolutely wrong. She's not talking about Harry Hamlin, but it looks like her daughter, Delilah, actually went through a breakup over this past week with her boyfriend, E.L. Booker. Now, you guys are probably wondering, Adam, why is this a big deal? Well, really, it's not that big of a deal, but it is kind of a big deal because we know how Lisa Rinna operates. She uses her daughters every single season for a storyline. Now, last season, it was Amelia's dating Scott Disick. Now, of course, this season, it's going to be the breakup from Scott, how Amelia's doing. Now, Delilah and E.L. Booker broke up, and all of us are going to be watching like, this is, okay, we're over it. Just give Amelia and Delilah a show. If we really cared that much and we were that invested, then let's give them a show. You want to know why they don't have a show? Because we're not that invested. Now, when Keeping Up with the Kardashians went off the air on E was shopping around trying to find the next big Kardashian family to fill their slot. Lisa Rinna did put herself in the running for that. She even filmed like a tester pilot to be the next Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the Rinna Hamlin bunch. It didn't work out. It didn't work out because the Keeping Up with the Kardashians franchise, even though they get to withhold stuff because they are executive producers of their own show, they still give us a lot of information. We see when the girls are cheated on. We see when they're navigating, infidelity and divorces. We get those intimate moments. But for Lisa, we don't get that. We get her talking about her daughters. Oh, I feel so bad for Delilah right now, and she's struggling with E.L. Booker. And it's like, what? That's not fair. That's not fair that gets to be her storyline. Now, we know last year she experienced some difficult times, but she's come out on the other side stronger than ever and is happy and enjoying time with her friends and family. She did say at one point, Delilah, because Delilah has been struggling, she said, I wasn't like a drug addict, but my body was dependent on Xanax because of how much my doctor prescribed me. And we were trying to figure out why exactly did they break up, right? Well, from what they're saying, the chemistry between them, it was great, but it looks like Delilah has some things that she needs to focus on with her mental health, which is not a joke. I don't want to make a joke out of that at all, but she needs to kind of refocus her time and focus on Delilah right now. Sometimes we need to do that. If you want to be in a successful relationship, and who am I? I'm not a therapist or a coach, But I feel like in order to be in a successful relationship, you have to be the best version of yourself possible. And I think that that's what Delilah needs to focus on right now. I mean, Delilah and Amelia, they both have come out before saying, you know, that they have struggled with mental health or body dysmorphia. They've shared it, which is, you know, great for fans. There might be some other people who can relate to these topics that they're talking about, but it's not their show. It's not the platform for them to be talking about it. And I say that, but then I'm going to pan over to Heather Dubrow and why she came back on Orange County, because she finally revealed it. And it also has to do with her kids. So maybe I'm wrong and I'm reaching here, but guys, I want you in the live chat to go ahead and let me know. Am I reaching? Am I going too hard on Lisa Rinna? Walker said, I smashed the like. Did you? That's a great question. Rinna will do anything for $1. No, I agree. Season 13 needs a big cast shakeup. Well, we're only on season 12 right now, but there, if you guys haven't seen the cast photo for season 12, I mean, there's not an official cast photo, but we have Lisa Rinna, Sutton Strack, Erica Girardi, Crystal Kung Minkoff, Garcelle Bouvet, Kathy Hilton, Kyle Richards, Dorit Kemsley, Sanella Diana Jenkins, and then we also have Will Smith's ex, Sheree. We have 10 women this season. So if you want a cast shakeup, we're not getting that, but we are getting 2 new women added to the group, which could make it a little bit more interesting. We know that Sheree's friends with Garcelle. We know that Sanella Diana Jenkins is friends with the Hiltons and also Lisa Rinna, and maybe even with Dorit Kemsley. It could be good. I'm not sleeping on season 12 yet. I just don't want it to be the complete Erica Girardi scandal show this season, because we got that last season. As entertaining and interesting as it was, all of the other storylines were looked over, because everyone wanted to know what was happening with Erica. This season, I feel like we know where Erica's at in her life. She's still navigating these court issues, these legal issues. She will be probably for the next year or two. We have to move on. Let's see her dating. Let's see her. I mean, a lot of people don't want to see her at all, to be fair. Hey, Adam, happy Tuesday. Oh my God. I said earlier, no, it's Wednesday, and that we forget. Holy cow, it is Tuesday. Where is my head? Maybe I puked that out too. I don't know. Okay. Sheree is going to eat those ladies up. Rob J in the city. I don't even want to see Erica. That's the point. Everyone's like, we don't need Girardi scandal. Dorit tax problems. I think we're going to obviously see the biggest part of Dorit's storyline this season will most likely be the burglary, because that happened the same week that they kicked off filming. And I'm sure how she's navigating that. And then, of course, PK getting a DUI, but he didn't get a DUI, because when he blew, they brought him to the precinct, but then he blew again and he blew less. So they ended up taking him home. So he never actually got a DUI, but I'm sure it'll be part of their storyline. Guys, 250 in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button, show some love. Goodbye, Rinna, in Ken's voice. Adam Jason did Anchor Watch last night. No, he's doing Anchor Watch tonight. It's on Tuesday nights, and it'll be at 11 p.m. tonight. Those espressos, Adam, LOL. No, I know. Oh my God, I thought it was Wednesday. See? I did too. And let's not forget, we get to see some more Teddy. Said no one ever. Nobody wants to see more Teddy. But let's keep it moving. I want to move on to our next topic of conversation. That would be Heather Dubrow. Now, Heather Dubrow has finally answered some of the insults thrown her way by Jeff Lewis. I don't know if you guys remember Jeff Lewis, but Jeff was on Flipping Out. He had his own show, and I can say this respectfully, he's a little bit of a loose cannon with his words. Like, he's kind of a male Kelly Dodd. He says whatever he wants. And even watching the show sometimes was so uncomfortable, because he would make a mockery out of his entire staff. You show up late, you do something wrong. He would say, do you have a problem? No, if you have a problem, let's talk about it. Talk about it. You want to talk about it? Then don't act like you have a problem or I'll fire you. And it's like, relax. I don't know what his deal is, but he did go on, it was his podcast, and he's talked about it on Watch What Happens Live, slamming Heather Dubrow, saying that she's not a good person, she's not trustworthy. And everyone was wondering, will Heather Dubrow clap back? Because when Kelly Dodd goes in on Heather Dubrow, she doesn't always come back with a clap back, but sometimes she's like, oh, well, bless her. Like, hopefully she gets her shit together, because I don't know what to say. I don't even have any contact with that woman, which is really embarrassing for Kelly, especially because this last week she went on Twitter and got into a Twitter feud with the wrong Heather Dubrow. It was actually a fan account called Heather Dubrow, which Kelly, I don't know if this was 3 sheets to the wind, if you were having a couple cocktails, or like, Marisol Patton likes to call him on Real Housewives of Miami, sipping on some cockies. I don't know. But she did, in fact, get into a fight with the wrong Heather Dubrow. So Heather Dubrow was asked in an interview, and she was asked about why. Why now? Why did you decide to return to the Real Housewives of Orange County? And her answer was actually pretty interesting. I thought it was because the network probably upped her pay and they were like, we need you, please come back and save the franchise. And I'm sure that was part of the conversation. But she actually said it all came down to her daughter, Max. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Why Max? Now, we know that Max, Heather's daughter, came out as bisexual a couple years ago. And when she did, Heather was saying that they received a ton of messages, good and bad, from all over the place, where people were showing love and support and also sharing some extremely sad stories of their own coming out stories when, their family might not have accepted them. Me personally, and I think it is important for this to be a storyline, whether it's Max's, place to do it or Noella Bergner's, because she said she's bilingual, biracial, and bisexual. I don't know whose place it is to do this, but at the end of the day, there has to be more advocates and allies and a bigger conversation about it, because it has to be more normalized. I was talking to my dad this morning because Jason and I've told you guys this, we moved to Palm Beach, we sold our condo, now we're living in a different place, and we look at houses from time to time trying to figure out what is our next move, because we have to find another house. And we found an up-and-coming area, a nice area with cheaper homes, but all completely redone. And we're like, okay, everything's changing. And then Jason looked up, there was an article that said 2 bodies found in the canal behind X neighborhood. And we're like, whoa, we don't know about that. So when I was talking to my dad, I said, I don't want to go in an area that I feel like uncomfortable. Like, I don't want it to be like, look at the 2, gay guys that are our neighbors and then have a lot of heat on us. It makes me nervous. And Dad said, I can't even believe that is something that you have to worry about. And I was like, yeah, it's absolutely something that you have to worry about, because you don't know what people are, not everyone is accepting. Jason and I it was like a neighborhood crawl. And when we did, we went over to our aunt and uncle's house, and they had this interesting kind of thing where they set it up on Facebook, and they did this whole Facebook page where everybody in the neighborhood could chime in and join in. So what it was there was like 9 or 10 houses that all decided to participate, and they threw a themed event at each house. Now, we started at one house, and you get 15 minutes at the house with hors d'oeuvres, and one was like, Mexican food and margaritas. One was Italian food and wine. Every place was different, and you get 15 minutes at each place to kind of mingle, and then everyone who gathers walks to the next place. Well, at the end of this bar crawl, there was a woman, or neighborhood crawl, there was a woman who wasn't comfortable with Jason and I because we were together, and she kind of pieced it together, and she didn't really want us there. She didn't want us in her house. And my aunt and my uncle, they were kind of taken aback by it, and they're like, well, then we don't need to be there either, really standing up for us. But at the end of the day, I was like, this still exists. This is crazy to me. It still exists. So getting back to Heather Dubrow, I think that's why it's important, and why she felt it was important for Max to have a conversation like this and normalize talking about LGBTQIA. I agree with that. Lucy Susie said, oh, it's wonderful, these types of events. Walker said, Adam, check out Dunedin, Florida, north of Clearwater or St. Petersburg. Very welcoming. Okay. Come to New York. We've lived in New York. It's Tuesday, Lovey. I was confused. LOL. I'm sorry, guys. Progressive Party. Love it. She can go. Haha. Good morning. Unreal. Wow, Adam. I'm sorry. Not Heather, that lady. Yes, I agree with all of you. I would leave and take back my bottle of whatever I brought. I almost did. And then once other neighbors kind of caught on to what happened, because we came back to my aunt and uncle's house, everybody jumped in the pool. And some of the other neighbors were like, let's go get some eggs and egg her house. And I'm like, whoa. Wait a minute. Jason and I are big boys. We can handle it ourselves. We're fine. But thank you guys. Getting back to Heather Dubrow, she said when she was pursued, when she was asked by Bravo, would you be willing to return? She sat down and had a conversation with her family, Max included, and of course, Dr. Terry Dubrow, everybody in the family. And she was like, you know what? What do you guys think? And when she asked them, she said, well, she kind of explained it this way. When Max came out as bisexual a couple years ago, we were flooded with supportive messages and also really tragic messages from people whose children, didn't have a safe way to come out. Heather continued with, and we thought, this is a conversation that needs to happen in more households. So wouldn't it be cool if we could show our version of what a normal family looks like and maybe start these conversations, maybe help some people? And then moving on, she was asked in this interview, how do you feel about the show? Like, how does the show affect you? That's a great question, because all of the housewives, we see them either rise or fall. It depends on who the housewife is, how much they can take. But there's a lot of shit that happens when they start filming. All of a sudden, we have tax debts coming out, divorces, infidelities, alleged cult allegations. I mean, we get them all. And it's hard. You're on national television. People are watching you. And Heather pretty much said the same thing. She said, you know what I forgot was the psychological part of the show. She said, Real Housewives of Orange County, it's exhausting mentally, and it's also very exhausting physically. And I could completely agree. I see what she's saying, and I can tell where she's coming from. Now, when she was asked about what do we have to look forward to come, she gave us a little bit of insight and talked about some of the newbies. She said, for Dr. Jen Armstrong and Noella, I kind of hit it off the least with them, but Dr. Jen, I got along with a little bit better because we had some mutual friends. For Noella, it was a very slow start. She had a lot of stuff going on in her personal life. And as we can see, or as we're going to see on this week's episode, Noella has a few problems with Heather Dubrow. Noella feels, or is explaining it, like she saw Heather, when Heather freaked out at her house and kicked everybody out after the sushi, she saw Heather push a cameraman against the wall. So she felt like that was incredibly uncomfortable for her. And she didn't want to be a part of that. She didn't want to be friends with somebody who was capable of doing that. Now, for Heather, she's completely denying that anything like this happened. And for Noella, she's saying, I saw it. I don't know who to believe at this point, because I don't know very many people who can look at somebody, and it's a real talent and a real shitty talent, if you can, look at somebody in the face and say, I know I saw you push somebody against a wall, and that's why I can't have a relationship with you. If it actually didn't happen, like, that person must be insane. But we are talking about housewives, so you never know what you're going to get. I want to know, do you guys think that Heather Dubrow was actually capable of pushing the cameraman against the door, or do you think that this is BS? Go ahead and comment in the live chat. Guys, almost 400 people in the room. Hey, smash that like button. Vanessa Lopez, morning, Adam. Finally get to see you live. Good morning, Vanessa. Tina Darling said, oh, whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm sure Noella has done worse. I mean, come on. No, that's a Brandy move. Nope, it's a petty excuse. Yes, I think it happened. Okay, BS. Yes, I think it happened. And I'm still confused with Noella's problem with Jen. Haha. And then Lucy Susie said, do you think production doesn't have a reaction about violence like that? I mean, you would think that they would, because if you guys remember, panning back over to Real Housewives of Atlanta, there was a moment where Nene told everybody, do not go in my closet. And they were like, no, we're going to go in the closet. Let's go check out the closet. And she was like, I said, don't go in my closet. And then the producer started following one of the cast members into the closet with the camera, and she grabbed him by the neck of the shirt and ripped the shirt. Like, she was pissed. So we've seen housewives get into altercations with production before. This is not the first time. I'm just more shocked that it's Heather Dubrow who comes off like, Champs, you want a Champs? Ooh, my favorite sound is clink. Listening to a cork pop. That's my favorite sound. Like, she doesn't come off like the kind of person who would have this kind of scandal attached to her name. I think that makes sense. Yes, I think it happened. I don't think that she would do that. Okay. I mean, if I had a camera in my face when I'm pissed, I'm not just pushing, LOL. Okay. Heather is exactly the type of entitled person who would do that. Whispering like Noella, it's an excuse. Like ASMR. I like that. Okay. And oh my God, that was scary. Yeah, when Nene got pissed, listen, even when she told me when I met Nene at Mastro's and she's like, goodbye, I was like, I love you, but goodbye. I don't want to piss off Nene Leakes. Nobody wants to piss off Nene Leakes, and I understand why. All right, moving on. I want to move on to the next topic. Well, we've all been talking about Real Housewives of Miami, and of course we get the new episode this Thursday, which I'm living for every minute of it. You know, Real Housewives of Miami, Bravo, Peacock, NBC, I think they're doing a damn good job at these reboots, these kind of cast shakeups, and getting us reinvested into the Housewives franchises. Because I'm not going to lie, during the pandemic, I felt a little nervous. I was thinking, oh no, this could be the end of the Real Housewives. And I don't want to see that. It's one of my favorite franchises, or some of my favorite franchises to talk about. I love talking about the Housewives. I know so many people in the Bravo realm. that I just feel like, I don't know, I'm an honorary Bravo-holic. So I don't want to see my Housewives go anywhere. And I'm sure a lot of you guys don't too, or at least the franchises. I can see some of them go, but I want to see new ones. Now, we know that, of course, Orange County was rebooted. We know Atlanta has now been rebooted. I'm curious to see what that looks like. And Miami, and also brought onto a different platform, which is Peacock, a streaming service. A lot of fans have said that they are not interested in watching Miami because they will not be paying another dime for any more streaming services. They're like, Jesus, we have to watch Housewives on Bravo, Housewives on Peacock, Kardashians on Hulu. How many different streaming services do we have to have? I was even talking to Pops and he was complaining about the same thing. He's like, I can't keep up with this anymore. I need like 10 different streaming services in order to watch my shows. I'm like, yeah, Pops, welcome to the future, because that's exactly what this is. You are so good at this, Adam. Aw, thank you. Who gives a shit about Nene? Give me a break. Oh, okay, Marty. Danielle said, I do not like Heather personally at all, but I appreciate her house and the drama that she brings, and not because she is going to jail like other wives. She is garbage, but we need someone like her. Jeez, okay, that was harsh. Quentin Dean said, I understand not wanting to pay, but you need to watch Miami, LOL. Yes, I completely agree. Even Andy Cohen said recently, do not sleep on Miami. A reunion is coming. I think that they're killing it. We have infidelity. We have a husband who passed away who apparently was gay, and Alexia is trying to navigate that. We have women getting married. We have women getting divorced. We have so much drama. And of course, the Kardashian name that gets continuously dropped because Larsa Pippen is on the show. I don't know if you guys remember old school Real Housewives of Miami, because the reboot did take them 8 years, but episodes from season 1 through 3 all had Leah Blac in them. Leah Blac was interesting. She was a little bit older than the other housewives, and she had kind of a cackle laugh, which used to drive me insane, but I loved her on the show. I just didn't always understand her position. Well, now she's talking about it. She wasn't asked back to the show. I asked Marisol Patton when I did my interview with her, what about Leah Blac? Will she be coming back? What do you think? Why isn't she on the show? She said, I don't know why she's not on the show. I haven't really asked. And I was like, okay, I'm sure you know that there's more to the story than that. But we're hearing from production insiders that Leah Blac was actually not asked to come back for multiple reasons. And I think they wanted a refresher. But that's not stopping Leah Blac from opening up and talking about the Housewives and the show and the reboot. That's exactly what she's doing. Leah Blac said that she is not watching the reboot, but she did feel like after hearing some things that Alexia has been talking about, especially with her ex, who unfortunately passed away, Herman, she said that pretty much it's pissing her off. She feels like Alexia is not doing the right thing by opening up about her deceased ex-husband. She feels like it's bullshit because he's not here to defend himself. And she said if Alexia continues to talk about him and paint him in a negative light, which I don't think she's even doing. I don't think Alexia has one time painted her ex in a negative light. I think she came out. She addressed a few things that were going on. I agree with what Leah's saying, that he's not here to defend himself and maybe he wouldn't want this story out there. But it's out there. It's out there, and Alexia is left to kind of deal with it and pick up the pieces. You know, to be fair, Alexia was in this relationship for a long time, and Leah is attributing the fact that she should keep her mouth shut to how great of a man he was and how he provided her with this luxurious lifestyle. But at the end of the day, she was at home at times when he was not. He was with his gay lover, which he had one, and we saw this on the show, and that's fine. That's the situation. But she wasn't aware of any of this. So he was technically cheating on her because he was having a hard time struggling with being who he really was on the inside, which that happens. You know, there are so many men and women out here who might have babies with, you know, opposite sex, or they think that this is what they have to do. I can't come out. I always have to keep this inside. I can't tell anybody. And then later in their adult life, they end up coming out. They have a family that they have to explain it to. Now they have kids that they have to explain it to. It becomes a little bit of a wildfire. Guys, what are you saying in the chat? Down with Jason, Up and Adam said that you guys are big boys. Please confirm, LOL. Joe Mendoza, you are messy. Okay. Donna Johnson said, I am sorry, but they shouldn't just put them on Peacock and not the one you pay for. Bravo makes enough money. Okay. But they should just put them on Peacock and not the one that you pay for. Okay, got it. Leah Blac gave me Leanne Locken from Real Housewives of Dallas vibes. That's interesting. Oh my God, if they had an agreement, okay, but if not, it's cheating. It is cheating. Listen, Alexia did not know that her husband at the time was going out and sleeping with men. She did not know that. She was very vocal about that. And she had some assumptions and she had people bringing this information to her, but she said she would ask him and he would always deny the allegations or accusations. So he denied them. Moving forward, it happened. It was real. She had a conversation with his lover. He actually flew his lover's family in from a completely different country. He bought his ex-lover a home. You know, it was still a very big deal. But Leah said if Alexia continues to use him as a storyline this season, she's not holding back and she is going to put Alexia on blast. What does that mean, Leah? Be careful because some people might have some stuff on you too. Holly said, Adam, you always go so hard on people cheating unless it's with the same gender. You did the same with Bronwyn. No, that's not true. I think cheating, that's not true at all, actually. I have people in my family who have cheated and they're not in the same sex. If I would feel just as strong about it if it was the same sex. If Jason went out tomorrow and cheated on me, I'm going to catch a charge. You're going to see me in a completely different light. All the shit's going over the balcony. I'm kicking you out. It's not even my place to kick you out of, but I'll figure out a way. I'm kicking you out. I'm cutting ties. We're done. So it's not just opposite sex. It's same sex too. I don't think that it should be condoned all across the board. If you go out there and you mess up, first of all, you should probably end up retracting yourself out of that relationship because, well, you've already crossed that line. And second of all, it's not who wants to be cheated on, Holly. I don't think that that's accurate. He probably had a lover for years. Cheating is trashy, period. I agree. Holly, that's BS. I agree. Ebony Dick said, haha, Holly just pissed off Adam. No, I'm not pissed off, but I think it's not true. You got me laughing, girl. He's coming for you. I'm not coming for him or for her. Adam doesn't condone cheating, period. I agree. And Jason, don't cheat. Yes. Okay. I love Bailey's in my coffee. All right, guys, again, we're at almost 450 in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. But like Donna Bell just said, cheating is cheating. And that is exactly it. Now, Leah didn't just talk about Alexia in her interview. She had a few things that she had to get off her chest when it came to Larsa Pippen. I thought this was interesting too. So in this interview, she was talking about Larsa Pippen. She was saying, one, I don't think that she has longevity on the show. Okay, why? She said because right now, Larsa Pippen is using the Kardashian name as kind of her lean on in order to have any sort of notoriety on the show. And she feels like if she's going to lean into that, and that's the narrative that she's trying to go with, it doesn't have longevity. People are going to be excited about it for a second, and then it's going to fizzle out because if we want to know about the Kardashians, guess what? We'll watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We don't need to hear from Larsa about her potential relationship with the Kardashians. And Leah does think that's why she was invited back, because of the stigma and the fandom that came with Larsa putting herself in that situation, which could be true. It could be true. She did say this. She said, hold on. Leah doubts that Larsa will show viewers anything of substance because she's never known how to really put herself out there. She said, I've never seen her crying or complaining or whining about her personal life. I only see her talking about the Kardashians. I never see any of that with her, so I wouldn't expect it. And she did also add to that, I've never seen her be the person to really put her raw feelings and self out there. So I think that she's a little bit guarded, which doesn't make for great reality TV. Okay. I mean, to be fair, if you're going to be on reality TV, you need to so-called mention it all. Goodbye, Kyle. Mention it all. You're supposed to mention it all. And if you're not going to mention it all, well, then take your ASS off of reality TV because that is still a job. You got to talk about it. If Alexia is out here talking to her husband's ex-gay lover, we can find out what's going on behind the scenes with Larsa Pippen. And she also did break down for a second. She had a crying moment. Maybe Leah needs to watch the show. Leah said, I'm not watching the show, but I'm hearing things and it's pissing me off. But maybe you should stop listening to everybody and start paying attention to the show because you'll probably see where everyone's coming from. Okay. Larsa is trashy. I just can't get used to Larsa. I haven't heard Larsa mention the Kardashians. She mentioned them like twice. Larsa is kind of likable this season, and I don't like to admit that, LOL. You and Jason are in the same position, Quentin. Jason, every time we watch a new episode, he's like, am I actually starting to like Larsa? And I was like, yeah, that's why you can't talk shit about people until we see what's going on. Danielle Peterson said, have a great day, all. Back to work I go. Thank you, Adam, for doing this. Thank you. Have a good day at work. This chat has me cracking up. Good morning, Murray. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? I can't get into Real Housewives of Miami. No, you have to. I'm telling you, do not sleep on this franchise. It is so freaking good. Got to go, Adam. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for waking up with us. Thank you. All right. Larsa rarely mentions the Kardashians. I agree. She doesn't really mention them at all. She has mentioned them twice, but she's also kind of using for her storyline this season her OnlyFans, which is probably the most ridiculous housewife storyline ever, and navigating her divorce from Scottie Pippen. Her divorce, you know, they're trying to figure out the assets. They've been going through this divorce for a couple of years now. They have to divide the cars, the homes, and that's why it's taking so long. But to be fair, nobody's divorce took longer than Bethany Frankel's. I mean, hers was 10 freaking years. Also, I don't know if Larsa has $100 million in the bank to split up with a very disgruntled ex-husband, but I also don't know Larsa's life, so I'm waiting to see more. Loving Miami, OnlyFans, oh my God, really? Yeah, it's kind of a joke. Not a fan of Larsa. Why the need for OnlyFans? Hey, she's making $10,000 a day, guys. Can't sleep on that either. Okay, so let's move on to one of our last topics. Now, guys, 30 minutes in, 440 in the room. Good morning. Have your espresso, some coffee and Baileys, maybe even some hot tea. I don't know, but wake up with me. I'll stop singing. I want to talk about this bunch. Blac Chyna. Okay, so Blac Chyna and the Kardashians have been in a legal battle for a long time at this point. Blac Chyna used to be friends with Kim Kardashian. They were best friends, and she was at the time with Tyga. Obviously, if you guys aren't Kardashian fans, then you probably wouldn't know this, but I don't know who doesn't know this at this point. When Tyga and Blac Chyna broke up, Tyga ended up getting in a relationship with Kylie Jenner. From there, it looked like Blac Chyna tried to get in a relationship with RHOBH Kardashian as kind of a payback. Well, she did. She got into the relationship with RHOBH Kardashian, and they had a lot of problems. If you guys watched their show, it was extremely awkward, chaotic. Rob has a lot of issues himself because he was in hiding for 4 years. He wasn't comfortable with his weight and the public scrutiny that he would get for it. And Blac Chyna was trying to get him to come out of his shell. But there were a lot of things that weren't adding up. And then, boom, let's get to the domestic violent physical altercation. So from what Rob is claiming, when they were living in Kylie's house, which is ironic that Kylie was sleeping with Tyga and Blac Chyna was living in Kylie's home. I don't know. But when Kylie was letting them rent the house, apparently Rob and Blac Chyna got into a big argument, and she started chasing him around the house, allegedly, with an iPhone charger cord, trying to wrap it around his neck and strangle him. Now, not only was she trying to strangle him, but she had a 6-foot metal pole that she was trying to clunk him over the head with. This is what's in the court documents, okay? Now, she requested from the judge if she can actually have the Kardashians come in and depose them and ask them about what they saw on the footage, what their place is in all of this. It looks like the judge ruled that Blac Chyna can grill Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, and Kylie Jenner under oath about their claims that she assaulted Rob. Now the judge is saying, okay, these are big accusations. Yeah, you want to ask them and you want to ask their part in it and what did they see? What did they witness? We will let them come in and you be able to talk to them face to face in front of the court and call them out. I think that's a big deal. Obviously, we know the Jenners and Kardashians have no time for this, but if Blac Chyna is being accused of attacking Rob, physically assaulting him with a pole, which is a deadly assault with a deadly weapon, and trying to choke him out with a charger cord and wrap it around his neck, she's fighting against jail time at the end of the day. Because at that point, if she is found guilty for this, they're going to end up sticking her behind bars. You don't just that's not a normal thing. You don't get to just be like, you know what? I hate my spouse. Let me choke him with an iPhone charger cord and then slam him over the head with a 6-foot metal pole. That's not real life, guys. And if it is real life, you do the crime, you do the time. And that's exactly what happens. Let's see. I know you guys are getting shady as hell over here. Suzette said, this show is the best thing in town for mornings. Go Adam. Hey. Get them, China. I can't believe Rob dated Adrienne Houghton. Okay. So messy and trashy. 437 watching and 247 likes. Let's smash that like button. Hey, thank you, Murray. I believe 100% that she attacked Rob. I mean, they're trying to steal the baby. She has been doing some physical things. Okay. Goodbye, Kyle, the Maloof Hoof. LOL. You always say what I'm thinking. Why ruin an iPhone charger? DJ QTube said, okay, that makes sense. Blac Chyna tried to kill Rob Carter. I don't know if it was trying to do that. If you aren't subscribed to Up and Adam, get subscribed. Hey. And then good morning, Philly Diva, and good morning to your daughter. Celebrity or not, she needs to be charged. And I'll never forget the way Lisa said the Maloof Hoof at the reunion. Okay. Now, it is true. Celebrity or not, if this in fact happened, most people would catch a charge for it. You don't just, this is not something, people will catch charges for a lot smaller of things. Like somebody, if you push your spouse out the door and they call the cops and you actually shove them, guess what? You're probably getting taken into a cop car and going to jail, and then you'll probably have a court date. This is how it works. You can't do illegal things, and trying to assault somebody is an illegal thing. But I am curious, why depose the Kardashians and Kylie Jenner? What is she going to get out of this? What is it going to do for her to cross-examine them? How is that going to help the case? That's the only thing I'm trying to understand, that I don't get the point of it. But maybe there's something I'm missing here, because of course it's under oath, so they can't lie, or you're not supposed to, because you'll go to jail. But I'm wondering, what are you actually wanting to ask them? Because anything that they say, I feel like is going to be in favor of Rob Kardashian. So somebody in the chat just said, when did this happen? I believe it happened, I want to say 3 years ago. They've been going through this for a long time, but I don't have the exact date. I was trying to see if I have it right here, but I don't. All right. Well, with that, guys, we do have a lot of things that I have to do today and get done. I have to go get a haircut. I'm about to take a trip. Again, I'm not telling you where until tomorrow. Maybe I'll post it on my community tab. I have big things coming your way. Hopefully you get as excited as I am. We're making moves over here, guys. We're making moves. So if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love. You've been in the room for 37 minutes. You can either take the $37 or go on a second date with me. You don't have a choice. We're back at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. I love you guys. Thank you to our super chats, super stickers. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to everybody in the live chat. This was amazing. I appreciate you guys. I'm still feeling not the best after having food poisoning. So normally I'll go an hour, but 40 minutes at this point, we're keeping it. Secure the bag, Adam. Listen, 2022, this is our year, guys. It's about to get good. Good day to everyone. Second date. Thanks, Adam. Keep the light beard. Love it. No, I got to shave this off, but thank you. All right. Have a great trip, Adam. Drink ginger ale. Thank you. Second date. Thanks, Adam. What an awesome show. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. Of course, I'll be dropping some pre-records. I'm going to go get my haircut, and I'll see you so very soon. Bye, guys.